Hi, this is Marek from Tryb. Today I want to make an unboxing video of a game called Genshin Tarot. This is what you can see here, the base game, cool artbook and expansion. This game was released by Brother Ming Games, and thanks Brother Ming Games for sending it for review. And this is a cooperative game based on Genshin Impact video game, JRPG, free-to-play game released on a lot of different platforms. And Genshin Tarot is a cooperative game, a card game, resource management, deck building elements, where you will team with up to 4 players and you will fight different enemies, and at the end a big and scary and powerful boss. So this is a deck building card game and cooperative one, of course, with a solo mode. But I don't know a lot about this game, apart from the fact that it looks amazing. I have seen some of the cards and this art book and it looks beautiful. So today I want to make an unboxing video where I will show you the content of this box, and there will be another video in the future where I will talk about the rules and the gameplay and about more, details how the game plays. Today just a pure unboxing video, so let me show you what's inside this big, huge box. Let's start with the art book because it contains a lot of really cool artwork of the characters from this game. You have moderators, people that created Genshin Tarot, and here we have different art of different characters that you will be able to use in the game. I am not really familiar with Genshin Impact, a video game, so if you play this game, you will probably recognize some of the characters, and they are like the major arcana in a tarot deck. You have, I think, 22 of them. You have Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers. Really fantastic artwork, and the whole artwork is created by fans. On each page you have the name of the artist that created this artwork. The Chariot, really fantastic. Strength, Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, cool, like anime manga style. Justice, the Hanged Man, Death, cool, so cool. Some of the artwork could be used as as a poster on the wall. It's really beautiful. The Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, the World. Okay, so that's it. And now we have Bestiary, so we have different enemies that can be encountered in the game. Let me know in the comments if you have played Genshin Impact video game, if you recognize some of the enemies or characters. So cool, they look really amazing. Okay, a lot of them, and it's really cool that you have some text. If you are not familiar with the video game, you can read about the enemies, and the same as here, you can read about the characters, some upright, reverse, some story. It gives you some background. Who are you playing in the board game? Really cool. And here is some thanks page, some artwork, names of the different artists. Really cool artbook, but not only artbook, but also a lot of things you can read to get familiar with the Genshin Impact world. Let's move to the base game, because the base game box is really huge. Again, beautiful artwork on the cover, Genshin Tarot. Let's open this huge box. Okay, so let me move it here. Okay, so what's this? Some advertising. Here we have the rule book. The rule book is not really long. It's 17 pages. You have some examples, a lot of artwork. I have read the PDF of the rulebook, So it explains everything really well, all the components. Again, additional artwork here from the Genshin Impact video game. Really cool. Now we have tokens, a lot of tokens, but you have to punch. You have different elements here, action tokens, damage tokens. This is, I think, called, again, elements, shields that are used by enemies, damage tokens that you'll use to track damage to your enemies. Mora, this is the, I think, currency that you will spend to upgrade and to get new cards and upgrade the cards you already have. Okay, now we have the bosses. We have 3 bosses in this game, and these are bosses boards, different bosses that you will be able to fight. Andrews, okay, Azda, sorry if I mispronounced something, and Wallin. Cool artwork, different actions, different HP depending on the player count. And on the other side of each boss you have the tracker that you will use to, you know, track the progress in this game, the number of rounds that have passed. Now we have the player boards, and they are really cool. They are double-sided, so you have some, you know, spaces here to put your token to track HP, energy, and guard. But if you move this board around on the table, the trackers will stay here, as you can see. Really nice. Here is the space for your deck cards and for the Mora tokens, the currency that you can spend on cards for player boards, for, you know, for players. Okay, and now we have this plastic insert. It's really cool, but there is, you know, an insert, so everything doesn't move around. You can store this game vertically, horizontally, however you want. What do we have here? Okay, this is not needed. And now we have a lot of cards. I know that there is more space in this box than you have content right now, because they plan to release some expansions. I have one expansion already here, but there will be some expansions in the future that you will be able to add to your game. So that's why there is more space. Of course, some people like to sleeve the cards, so they will have enough space to put the cards sleeved. So, wow, they look amazing. Here are the character cards that you use to randomize which characters you will play each time you play the game, and they look really nice. This is like, they are like matte and have this gold elements here. I'm not sure if you can see it on the video, but it looks really amazing. Really cool card. And here you have different characters. Each time each player will use 4 characters in the game, so you can, you know, shuffle this deck and randomize it, and, you know, it looks like a tarot deck with, you know, different arcanas. Really nice. Here we have different bosses, not bosses, but different enemies that you will encounter in the game. They are divided into this, you know, beige enemies are the more powerful ones, and the black ones here are the basic enemies. So let's look at them. I really like the artwork, and now the cards here are more glossy, different than the arcana cards that we had here. A lot of enemies. You will have to defeat all the enemies in order to fight the boss in the game, and after you defeat the boss you will win the game. And if the boss defeats you, you will lose the game, or if you don't manage to get to boss before 12 rounds, you will also lose the game, from what I know. Different enemies, they have different you know, abilities. Here they are more aggressive ones. This is the HP. This is the amount of Mora, the currency you will get when you defeat them, I think. This is their attack stat, and here is the number of shields they have. shields prevent them to get damage. Cool. A lot of enemies. So now what do we have here? And now we have a lot of cards, because I think these are all the action cards for each character, because each character has got different cards, and when you choose the 4 characters for your game, you will shuffle all the decks of the characters you are currently using to form your deck, but you will be also able to acquire additional cards during the game. Some player phase overview, elemental reactions chart, so this is for each player. Some additional, I don't know, statuses or boss cards, and here are the powers of different characters you will use. Cool artwork. So many cards are here. a lot of cards. These are the special powers that you can use for each characters you have in the game. And here are the cards for the these are the statuses. You have freeze, then there is burn, the statuses your characters can get, dash, and overheat. Really cool. Even more artwork here. We have 2 more decks to open. And here are the cards for each character. I don't know, I will try to show you them. Some cool artwork, a lot of cards, because this is the deck building game. Each card shows you the number of action tokens you need to spend to cast the card, to use it. Some have 0 cost, some have cost of 2 or even 3. A lot of cards. Really nice. Some special skills. I think that the cards are divided into different elements. You have 6 elements in this game. It's important because you can combine these elements. There are some combos from what I know. Wow, so many cards. This is crazy. I think that the cards without the border are the basic cards, and the cards with the border here, the gold border, these are the upgraded version of each card. So each character has got a unique deck of cards. So there are 22 or 24 characters in this game. Each time you play this game you use 4 of them, and if you combine all the decks each game will be really different, and with all the enemies and 3 different bosses there's a lot of replayability. Here, what do we have here? Here are the cool tokens to track HP and energy on your player boards. This is really cool. You can track your HP, you can track your energy, and you can track your guard. They are like transparent. They look really nice. Here we have some dice that are used I think by some characters and by bosses to determine what the enemy or boss is doing. They have symbols of different elements on each side. Really cool dice. And what are here? Okay, some zip bags to store all the tokens that you will have to punch from the punch board. And here are some small cards that are randomly drawn each round of the game. They have different effects, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. And here we have dividers that will help you to organize this box a little better, so you can store each character card behind a specific divider, so it will be easier for you to find the proper cards, overheat cards, dash cards, or the statuses, boss cards, really cool. And as I said, you have a lot of space here to store this game, cards with sleeves, expansion, the one expansion that is already available, and the expansions that will be released for this game. So it's cool that you will have space to store everything in one box. Let me clear everything so I can show you the expansion. So this is the first expansion that will be released for this game. It's Sword Arcana. You have additional characters that you will be able to use. What do we have here? Even more dividers to separate everything. Wow, again, more characters and more heroes that you'll be able to choose for your game. Again, beautiful artwork. Gold elements on the cards, and they are like matte finish. Really nice. You can see the gold element here on the cards, really nice. And we have a lot of cards with character specific decks. Let me show you some of them. Seal of approval. Wow, a lot of cool cards. Basic cards, upgraded version of the cards. Okay, this is part 1. So many of them, and this is part 2. And as you have seen, you can store all the cards and characters in the base game box. There is more than enough space for everything. The special powers of each character. Cool artwork here. I really need to play Genshin Impact in the video game. After seeing all the contents of this game, I'm more than curious about this game. Judging by the artwork, this game must be really cool and amazing RPG. Okay, a lot of cards, different abilities. So that's the content of this small expansion, but with a lot of cards. You have more characters that you can use in your game. I'm really curious about the other expansions they are planning. Maybe they will add more bosses or more characters. We will see. But this is the content of Genshin Tarot. Click the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. You will find links to Brother Ming Games website in the description of this video, together with my Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.